All right, so let's jump right in. I want you to imagine something for a second. An AI that doesn't just give you facts, but can hit you with a perfect, witty, absolutely devastating roast. I know, it sounds like sci fi, right? But it's happening. And honestly, it's making us ask some seriously deep questions about, well, about us.
And boom, there it is. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about. When a machine drops a line like that, you realize it's not just some clever code. It's got this mix of sarcasm and smarts that it feels human, doesn't it? So the big question is, how in the world does a machine get so good at something as human as a roast?
And it's because this whole thing is way more than just a cool party trick. Think of this AI like, well, like the AI in the room. It's holding up a mirror, and what it's showing us is our own complicated, sometimes kind of weird, relationship with the tech we're building. You know, for the longest time, we've thought humor was our thing, especially that sharp, witty roast. It takes understanding context, emotions, all the little weird things about being a person. So, what's the deal here? Is the AI just a really good copycat? Or is there something else, something deeper happening? And that's where this gets really interesting. Because this ability, this witty AI, it pokes a hole in one of our oldest, most fundamental beliefs, the idea that we're special, that we're at the very top of the food chain when it comes to intelligence and creativity. There's actually a name for this idea, and it's basically been our default setting for, like, forever. Yeah, the fancy term for it is anthropocentrism. All it really means is the belief that humans are the center of the universe, or at least the most important thing on the planet. For centuries, that's just how we've seen things. We're the main characters, and everything else is just the supporting cast in the story of Earth. And how did we justify this? Well, we'd point to things like our ability to reason, our creativity, our art. We'd say, see, that's what makes us unique. But now we've got an AI that can write a punchline, that shows actual wit, that's playing in a sandbox we thought was ours and ours alone. It's a direct challenge to that whole idea of us being so special. So, why do these AI jokes actually land? Why are they funny? Well, it's because the AI isn't just making this stuff up out of thin air. It's been trained on an insane amount of human writing and talking. It's learned our rhythms, our insecurities, our weird little quirks. The roast works because the AI is just a mirror reflecting our own stuff right back at us. Okay, so if the AI isn't thinking the way we do, where's all this cleverness coming from? The answer is pretty wild. It's not about inventing a totally new mind. It's more like channeling old ones. It's all about the ghosts in the code. This quote here, it was originally about the poet T.S. Eliot, but man, is it a perfect metaphor for what we're talking about. See, Eliot's poetry was just jam-packed with the voices and styles of writers who came before him. And AI, it's the exact same thing. It's filled with our echoes. And this idea brings us to a really cool, kind of spooky philosophical concept. It's called hauntology. A philosopher named Jacques Derrida came up with it. And the basic idea is that the present is always, and I mean always, haunted by the past. All the things we hoped for, the ideas we shared, the jokes we told, they don't just vanish into thin air. They stick around. They haunt us like ghosts. So how does an AI become a ghost? It's actually pretty straightforward when you break it down into 3 steps. Step 1, the past. We, as in all of humanity, create just trillions and trillions of data points. It's basically our entire history of expression. Step 2, the echo. The AI models get trained on this gigantic archive, soaking up every last echo. And that leads to step 3, the ghost. The AI starts generating stuff that is literally a specter of our collective human past. So here's the big takeaway, the thing to really wrap your head around. That smart, sassy, roasting AI, it's not a new brain. It's a high-tech seance. It's just a vessel that lets the ghosts of our own language, our own jokes, and our own ideas speak back to us. It's literally haunted code. Okay, so if the AI is just an echo chamber of our past, a ghost, what does that mean for us? For you and me, right here, right now? Well, it pushes us face to face with another huge philosophical idea, existentialism. So, what's existentialism all about? In a nutshell, it's about complete and total freedom. The idea is that we aren't born with some built-in purpose or identity. We just show up. And because we're free, we are 100% responsible for creating who we are, based on the choices we make every single day.
The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre had a really famous way of putting this. He said, existence precedes essence. Sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means you exist first. You're just here, thrown into the world. And then, through everything you do, all your choices, you define your essence, your purpose, who you are. Basically, you are what you do.
And this is where it all circles back to our roasting AI. Think about it. If we can't hang our hat on being the smartest or most creative things around anymore, what's left? What's our thing? It's our freedom, our choices. These intelligent machines don't make us meaningless. No way. They actually make our responsibility to define our own meaning way, way more urgent.
Okay, that sounds great, but how do we actually do that? How do we live freely and make up our own meaning when the universe isn't exactly handing us an instruction manual? And that brings us to our last big idea: confronting the absurd. Another philosopher, Albert Camus, he called this the absurd. And it's this basic clash, right? We humans are just wired to search for meaning, for a point to it all. We crave answers. And what does the universe give us back? Silence. Nothing. He compared it to the myth of Sisyphus, the guy cursed to push a rock up a hill for eternity, only to watch it roll back down. The task is pointless, but he has to keep doing it. According to Camus, that's the human condition.
But here's the twist. Camus didn't think this was depressing at all. He said, okay, here's how you deal with it in 3 steps. First, you have to acknowledge it. Just accept that, yeah, life has no built-in meaning. Second, you rebel. You refuse to give up or fall into despair. You decide to live with passion because it's meaningless. And third, in that rebellion, you find a revolution. You find true freedom because you get to create your own purpose from scratch. And really, that's the whole point of this. An AI that can crack a joke doesn't make us meaningless. What it does is it strips away our old excuses. It's a wake-up call. It kicks us out of that comfortable, cozy belief that we're the best, and it forces us to finally embrace that freedom we've been talking about. It's a challenge to live more on purpose, to be more real, and to build our own value with every single thing we do.
So in the end, it all comes down to this one question. We've built machines that are haunted by the ghosts of our collective past. They're a mirror reflecting everything we've ever been. When we look into that mirror, the most important question isn't what can the AI do? The real question is, who do we choose to become?